indoors or outdoors, when it comes to sprints, hurdles, field events, or even cross country, the track field season is in a never-ending perpetual motion against space and time. Now, those indicators are important during competition, but finishing what you started is even better. For both coaches with me today, Ray James of Benjamin Cardozo High School in Queens and Vinny Giles of St. Peter's High School in Staten Island, giving up is not an option. Welcome back, both of you gentlemen.
Yes, thanks for having us.
Pleasure to be here once again.
Right, since indoor, right? January.
Yes, January.
What's been going on in the outdoor season right now?
Well, at this stage in the outdoor season, I would say that after the Penn Relays, which is always the last weekend in April, we start gearing up toward our championship season. There's usually one big meet that we choose to go to, and then after that, you're gearing up toward the championship section.
Now, is the Penn Relays that indicator of how everyone's going to do the rest of the outdoor season? Because you're facing competition from across the country.
Not always, especially here in the East Coast, because we have such a hard indoor season. Sometimes coaches kind of cut back for a little. And we know that the weather early is terrible. So it's usually cold out.
The weather was nice that day. It was like 90 degrees, 85 degrees that day.
But the meets before that, we're running in 38, 40-degree weather. So we usually gear up to it late. We look forward to running the meets at this point of the season.
What else is going on, Coach?
Well, right now, the Borough Championships are coming up this week for the PSAL, which is the Public School Athletic League. Vinny's one of the top coaches in the East Coast. However, he's geared right now toward his Catholic School Championships. And the interesting thing is that he has to go through 2 city championships while I'm getting ready for one. One, he has all the schools Catholic schools within New York City this Saturday. And he has an intersectional, which is going to include Long Island Catholic schools and a few upstate. They all come down, and you'll be at Icon Stadium, right?
So that's basically a regional championship,
basically. It's like a New York City championship, which is called the sectionals, and then they call it the Catholic School State Championship, which is the intersectionals.
Let's talk about also those athletes, especially one in particular that has received a major scholarship from Mississippi State, Renaldo Griffith. We can put that up there for a moment.
Sure.
He's Clara Barton. He's a senior right now, and he's received a full ride to Mississippi State. He's a 400-meter hurdler.
That's right. Renaldo Griffith is coached by Randall Joseph, a mutual friend of ours, and very good coach, by the way. And Mississippi State, you would think Mississippi State is going to come all the way up to New York City to recruit. Well, New York is a big recruiting ground for track and field, even more so than basketball was. When we were coming up, it was basketball.
Correct.
Griffith his parents are from Jamaica. And Coach Joseph, he felt that it was a good move to send him down to something called the Carifta Games, which is in the Caribbean, and he did well down there.
And those recruits are there, right?
Yes, but you get more recruiting actually up here in this country. But he won that, and he has the second fastest time in the 400 hurdles. In
the country? And he's number one in the state of New York right now.
Yes, right. So, it's a very competitive state right now. And you know what also I'd like to bring out? With New York athletes, you find colleges coming from Oregon, from UCLA, they come from Texas, and you have New York athletes all over the country that are doing quite well.
You have Richard Rose at Texas A&M.
Richard Rose is at Texas A&M. Also, Bernessa Thompson from Medgar Evers. Richard Rose is from Boys and Girls. Right. And but we have other athletes that are national. Sabrina Sutherland, Deja Stevens, who's the fastest time in the world right now in the 200.
Right. Now, where are the best track and field athletes right now? Are they in Staten Island, are they in Brooklyn, or are they in Queens?
You mean from
just in the city? Yeah, in the city.
It's pretty much spread out the city. There's good athletes in different areas of track and field throughout the city. Staten Island, we've been known for distance runners, cross-country runners. In Brooklyn, the Bronx, sprinters, and Coach Ray, middle distance in Queens.
Field events, discus throwing, that sort of thing, pole vault.
Pole vault? Well, currently, there's a young...
Monsignor Farrell has been doing well. Wagner's picking up on the pole vault, which is a hard event to train for because you have to have the proper facilities to be able to train. So it's a little hard to train.
And also the proper coaching, too, correct? Because it's a lot of technique.
Yes.
Right. I have a young freshman, S.J. Cohen. She's a freshman. She's 14. She has the top jump in the city. So far, she's the top one at 9.6, and she's only been doing it for about a month and a half. She's going to be a phenom. in the pole vault. And it does. It's a very time-consuming event.
What
Vinny and I
about the
talked about that.
discus throwing, the hammer throw, those particular events too?
Yeah. It takes away from the coaching.
Yeah.
Us coaching our runners. I mean, Vinny coached the top long jumper, and it took a lot of time away from his runners.
But what about the discus throw? You have to have a particular coach for that, right?
Yes, those are specialized events. So it's a lot of technique. It's
and that would eat into the budget, basically, when it comes to high school sports, getting a particular coach for that event.
Oh, absolutely,
yes,
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. What the city places its emphasis on. Could you imagine like a football coach who's the art teacher, who's a friend of the principal, gets the job as the head coach in football? However, do you know that he could teach someone how to tackle without injuring themselves?
Well,
and so, you know,
if you go to the right clinic, though, you can learn.
Yeah, but is the PSAL, or the City of New York Department of Education, they're going to provide that resource for that coach to go and learn how to do that?
No. I want to also talk also about media coverage in terms of track and field in New York City. I mean, I read the article about Renaldo Griffith, Griffith receiving the scholarship in the Daily News a couple of weeks ago to Mississippi State. But beside that, there's nothing else. There's a total dead space when it comes to track and field here in New York City in terms of high school coverage, in terms of collegiate coverage.
Right.
Well, Coach Vinny can expatiate on what all of the boroughs would like to do.
Like Staten Island. We lead because our Staten Island, the Advanced Staten Island Live, I mean, they cover track and field well for the last few years. Also, we have what you call the Staten Island Advanced All-Star Dinner, which 500 people come out. I mean, the kids in Staten Island, I mean, they might not run as fast as a girl from Cardozo, but they have the fame on Staten Island that any Cardozo girl has ever had.
And it's encouraged.
It's encouraged on Staten Island. So, you know, we appreciate the coverage. Derek Alves and George Kochman, and of late is Jason. So we really appreciate their coverage on Staten Island. I mean, hopefully the rest of the city could catch on. But the one thing that, you know, we were speaking about is that track and field is truly a big sport, but it's in like a subculture. It's like, you know, your local people really doesn't understand what track is, but track is huge.
So in certain circles, it's big. Globally, in other countries, it's big.
That's right.
Olympic time around here is huge.
It's huge.
Right.
But after that, it falls off the wayside.
Right.
In terms of participation, which is a major, it's the most participation. You find more participation in track and field than you do in any other sport. I would say at least 4 to 5 times. But yet we still don't get the coverage. Something's wrong there.
What do you see as the? I mean, because I'm doing my job here.
Oh, listen, and we really appreciate what you do.
And we do our job here best we can as far as in terms of track and field and other sports.
It's appreciated because a lot of people tune in to find out, you know, what's going on.
What I see going on in track and field is people that love track itself have started media outlets and websites such as MileSplit that have made our sport that big.
Gentlemen, also one quick other events coming up.
Well, we have the city championships that's coming up in 2 weeks. That'll be on a Saturday. I think it's well, don't quote me on the date, but you'll be able to give that on your next show, the date of our city championships. He has one coming up this Saturday, and I think, in 2 weeks?
In
2 weeks.
1 week.
And you got the Nationals in June in North Carolina, right?
State
Right,
meet,
exactly.
And then the Nationals are in
Greensboro,
June.
North Carolina.
Right.
Yes.
Thanks for coming, fellas.
Yes, appreciate it.
We'll have to have you back again soon.
We appreciate the time.
Thank you, bro.
Okay.